Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds. The fine for violating any of these bans is the same as the fine for the ban on burning, $25,000.
Climate lockdowns are officially here, and if you do what I'm doing right now in Nova Scotia, you could be fined $25,000. What do they think is going to happen if you dare to go out and take a hike? This? Canadians have been told over and over again that climate change is what's causing wildfires, but now the blame has been shifted to you directly, and you are the one who needs to be stopped. But guess what? Riding your bike and hiking and fishing doesn't cause wildfires. In fact, more often than not, the cause has been state control. Remember the shoe swap fires in BC? It turned out that the director of wildfire operations, Cliff Chapman, admitted that they started the fires with a controlled ignition.
We did conduct a planned ignition on that fire last Thursday. We did it cautiously. We knew the winds were coming. As those winds were approaching, going through the Caribou Fire Center, there was a continuous line of fuel between the main body of the fire and all of the communities along the North Shuswap. Unfortunately, with the wind that we knew was forecast and that was coming, that fire went above the control line that we burned off from and then swept back into the communities in the North Shuswap.
These are the people who are supposed to have all of this under control. But no, it's you and your nature hikes in the woods. That's the problem. Or what about the recent fires in Lytton that was literally caused by the RCMP?
And the British Columbia RCMP taking responsibility for an out-of-control wildfire burning north of Lytton.
The BC RCMP has revealed that it accidentally sparked the Eisman Creek wildfire currently burning along Highway 12 just north of Lytton.
It does appear that equipment simply failed. Obviously very unintentional.
Oops, our bad. But forget about that. It's you nature-loving Nova Scotians who need to be stopped at all costs. And speaking of costs, here's Nova Scotia's crime and punishment guide. Drunk driving, $1,000. Assault someone, $5,000. Use your phone while driving, $500. Drive without insurance, $2,000 to $5,000. Shoplifting under $5K, $1,000. Speeding 40 kilometers over the limit, $400. Trespass on private property, $500. Illegal dumping, $50,000 to $5,000. Vandalism, $1,000 to $5,000. Walk, hike, or bike in the woods, $25,000. They even set up a snitch line so that you can rat out your fellow neighbor who might dare to take a nature hike in the woods. Gee, it sure would be a shame if thousands of people started making fake reports overwhelming their systems, wouldn't it? You could say stuff like, yeah, I just saw a totally flaming prime minister just walking around outside like it's no big deal. If they actually wanted to stop the flames from spreading in Nova Scotia, maybe they shouldn't actually block real firefighters from trying to help. Remember this?
Hi folks, I'm a retired forest technologist from the Department of Natural Resources, and I have 29 years experience fighting forest fires here in Nova Scotia. As things progressed last week and buildings were burning and people were being evacuated, I realized that Nova Scotia had a resource of retired technical staff that were experts at fighting fire. And so I put together a team. I called some of these guys up and I put together a crack team. And then I immediately notified Natural Resources at Fire Control in Shuby. I contacted a local district supervisor. And they both notified me that the province wouldn't be interested in hiring on any retired staff to do work. So at the same time we were being told that, the Premier was begging for help on every newscast that he could get on. And then I fought with the province on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and again on Friday, trying to get our guys put in key positions where they were needed throughout the province. I got the same answer continually. Thank you, but no thank you. What taxpayers need to understand is while buildings were burning and the province was short-staffed and our government was standing in front of TV cameras saying we're doing everything they can, they lied to your face. They didn't. I could have pulled together a lot more teams of guys, retired guys willing to come out and do this. On the first team I put together, we had close to 200 years of experience of fighting fires here in the Acadia region of Nova Scotia. I'd like to quote what Tim Houston said on Thursday on Talk Radio. He said, in an emergency, the time for action is now, the time for paperwork is later. And that was only minutes after I'd just been advised from Shubenacadie, thanks, but no thanks, we're not going to take you guys on. So if you lost your house and fires remained out of control, when a politician looks you in the eye and says, we did everything we could, they're lying to your face. And what has to happen here is people need to be held accountable both at a bureaucratic level and at a political level.
That was a couple years ago, folks, and guess who they're holding accountable? The people of Nova Scotia, who like to fish, ride their bikes, and hike in the woods. And what's even worse, did you know about this? This is a letter from the Nova Scotia Department of Lands and Forestry warning the public about wolves, which was branded a fake by the government of Nova Scotia. But it turned out that the letter was forged by the Canadian military as part of a psychological operation where they were using propaganda to scare the people of Nova Scotia. Forged letter warning about wolves on the loose, part of Canadian Forces propaganda campaign that went awry. A letter from the Nova Scotia government sent out to residents to warn about a pack of wolves on the loose in the province was forged by Canadian military personnel as part of a propaganda training mission that went off the rails. The letter told residents to be wary of wolves that had been reintroduced into the area by the provincial and federal governments, and warned the animals were now roaming the Annapolis Valley. The letter, which later became public, sparked concern and questions among residents, but was later branded as fake by the Nova Scotia government, which didn't know the military was behind the deception. The training also involved using a loudspeaker to generate wolf sounds, the Canadian Forces confirmed to this newspaper. The fake letter was part of new skills being tested by the military as it hones its expertise for launching propaganda missions at home and abroad. The letter was developed by information warfare specialists with the Halifax Rifles, a reserve unit. So the Canadian military and government was caught using psychological warfare against the people of Nova Scotia to convince them that there was a threat of wolves in the area. They even went as far as to set up loudspeakers in the area that would let out wolf sounds to fully sell the idea in order to completely terrify the people of Nova Scotia. And they want you to think that you're the problem here? My friends in Nova Scotia, please know that this new order violates our Canadian Charter mobility rights, which are protected under Section 6. So, as the title of this video says, take a hike, Nova Scotians. No, really, go take a hike. It's your constitutional right to do so. My friends, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please consider making a contribution at this Give, Send, Go campaign, where you can help save and protect Press for Truth, or you can visit pressfortruth.ca/donate. Links to both are located in the description below. So that's all for today, guys. Make sure you get outside, enjoy nature, and ignore these unconstitutional orders, because it's about time Canadians said, enough is enough. That's all for today, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button and share this video. And stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.